Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie. I have so much to do in the next 4 days. My husband's family is coming to the island for the next 2 weeks, which, yes, is a long time. I don't know how much reading I'm gonna be doing in those 2 weeks, so I really want to get Fourth Wing done before they come so I could give it my full undivided attention, or at least stay up till 1 in the morning every day reading this book. But I also have so much to do in those 4 days that it might take me 4 days to finish this. This is almost 500 pages. The audiobook is like 21 hours long. So over the next 4 days, I plan on reading at least 125 pages. Is that correct math? I do math for a living, so I really should know this. That is correct, according to my calculator. Oh, this is so embarrassing. So yes, come along with me and read Fourth Wing, the internet's book of the month, of the moment, of the year, question mark. But also come around with me while I try to get my shit together because I have so much to do before my in-laws come. Let me make a mental list. I have to film, edit, and upload my, what month are we in now? May wrap up. I have to tidy everything. I have to clean everything. And when I say clean, I don't just mean a little sweeping, a little wiping. I mean hands and knees on the floor, scrubbing, kind of clean. I have piles of laundry just stacked on chairs. What else do I have to do? And I do have a full-time job, so I will be working 6:30 to 3 p.m. the next 4 days. I'm actually on my lunch break now, so I need to hurry up so I can eat. Clearly, I'm a little stressed and high-strung right now, so I hope this is a really fun video for you to watch. As for Fourth Wing, I am so excited. I obviously have really high expectations because everyone's been loving this. It's very much giving How to Train Your Dragon, but like maybe a little sexier, hopefully, because those were like literally children. Our main character is 20 years old. I think her name's Violet. Her mom is some badass dragon rider lady, and she really wants her daughter to be a badass dragon rider lady, sorry. But Violet really wants to be a scribe. However, she lets her mother push her around. So she ends up going to this college for dragon riders, but there's a lot of danger because Violet is very weak, and dragons don't like the weak girls. They want the strong ladies, or men, or non-binary people. And apparently, they like to kill those weak people. So yeah, Violet could die, but I don't think she's gonna die. I think she's gonna end up being like the coolest dragon rider of all time. I like dragons. I like characters that grow stronger, either mentally or physical, maybe both. So yeah, very excited. We'll see if this is worth the hype. Also, yes, it is beautiful. I'm gonna go eat now. Fun fact, a couple of months ago, I wanted to dye my hair this color, and instead of just doing it, which is what I normally would, I bought a wig for like $10 on Amazon. I'm very happy I didn't dye it this color because I don't think it's working. guys, I just started chapter 9. Obviously, you're not gonna know what that means unless you read the book, but I just squealed. We have my first squeal of the book. It only took 103 pages, but it's there. All right, guys, I got to page 125 of my book. Hello, welcome to day 2. I just finished work and I want to film my May wrap up, but my skin has decided to erupt. I have so many zits and I got some sort of rash from the sunscreen I used the other day, so I'm gonna try to cover it up and we can chit chat about Fourth Wing. I also haven't changed out of my pajamas all day. This is gonna be difficult for me because I can't do 2 things at once. I don't know why I'm attempting this, but whatever. One of the reasons I look so tired and am tired is because I stayed up way too late reading Fourth Wing. I read my 125 pages and then my camera died and I just kept reading. I got to page like 180. I could not put this book down. It was one of those situations where I was like, one more chapter. But things were going at a crazy speed and there was just so much intrigue. But let me back up a minute because I think what I was saying before I started the book is that I was expecting How to Train Your Dragon vibes, and I think we're about to get into that where I'm at right now in the book. But I must tell you another vibe I got, like a super strong vibe of Divergent. This thing is throwing Divergent in my face. Our main character Violet is very weak, kind of like Tess was, or Tress, whatever her name was, and she's going to this college, and in this college there are 4 quadrants. You can be a scribe, a healer, I think someone in the like armory, or a dragon rider. And the dragon riders are like dauntless. They're crazy, they all wear black. Even right where we open the book, it's sort of their first mission to just get to the rider quadrant. They have to sort of like do this tightrope thing. They walk on a parapet. I googled it and I'm like picturing this. Apparently 40 to 50 kids die every year just walking on this thing. And so it's like their first real test. And it's giving Divergent where they have to like jump off the side of that building. Yeah, this is definitely a much deadlier version though of Divergent because kids, well, I guess they're like adults, they're in college, so they are dying left and right. Do not get attached to anyone because they might just drop dead. Apart from these like challenges and things like that, the other cadets, they're sort of like in boot camp. It's very military. They can execute each other whenever they want. They can just like go ahead and kill their competition, which is crazy. It's like actually in the rule book, which I find absolutely insane, but whatever, I'm gonna go with it. Everyone wants our girl Violet dead because her mom is this badass, but there's a lot of people that were in the resistance whose parents were murdered like by her mother, so they obviously hate her. But they also don't like that she's so weak. I think when her mother was pregnant with her, she had some sort of sickness and it has affected her bones, her ligaments, so she gets injured very easily. Now, I gotta tell you, when I started this book, I wasn't sure I was gonna like it because the writing, I have to tell you, it's pretty cringe. And I mean that in a judgy way, but it's very cringe, okay? It's sort of like YA fanfiction feeling. Our main character is like scoffing and eye rolling at everything. There's lots of really badly done info dumping. It's like so obvious and not subtle at all. It's actually really annoying. It's one of my personal pet peeves though. I know it doesn't bug everyone. There's also like really weird sentence structures and word choices. That's like our author trying not to sound average, like they're going out of their way to try to sound a little different, but it's so distracting that I wish she would just be clear and just write what she is meaning. For example, this guy, our main character thinks he's tall, and instead of saying he's 6'4" or he's really tall, she says something like he is at least 4 inches or above of 6 foot height or something stupid like that. And I'm just like, lady, are you on drugs? Why did you say it like that? The other reason why it's giving like really strong YA vibes is because there is a sort of love triangle happening. Our main character's childhood friend is here. He is so fucking annoying, and it's annoying because I think everyone's probably gonna find him annoying. Like, that's not a hot take. He's very overprotective of our main character and he just doesn't believe in her at all. He's trying to get her out of there any chance he gets, except he's not being cute, like I'm gonna protect you. He's being bossy and just rude and disrespectful. But it's just so obvious that she's not gonna end up with him because he's being like that it's almost annoying that he's even in the book. The other love interest is this bad boy. His dad was like the ruler of some other province or some deserter rebellion. Her mom and his dad were enemies and her mom executed him. So she's so sure that this guy is gonna kill her. But immediately when his name is brought up, we know he's gonna be the love interest because her sister's like, oh, and by the way, stay away from this guy named Zayden. There's no way a guy named Zayden isn't going to be the love interest. He's very much the opposite of her childhood friend. He thinks she should take risks and be extra dangerous and threaten other people instead of just trying to stay out of the way and out of the limelight. And so we immediately like him because he's trying to make her stronger. Anyway, so there's all this cringe writing, but I could not put this book down. I could not stop reading it. And so I have to give this author props for making the anticipation levels like off the chart. And I think part of the thing that does it is that in the very beginning, you know that there are a certain number of sort of challenges. And so you're waiting for those and you know they're coming. Starting off with that parapet walk, we also have like mat challenges where they have to fight each other, kind of like in Divergent. There's this big obstacle course that they have to do that I really wish I could see like a visual of it because it was kind of hard to imagine, but I love obstacle stuff like that. I love reading things like that. Like in ACOTAR when there's like that worm challenge, I love shit like that. And then the coolest part, which I had to stay up for, is the threshing. This happens like 2 months after you've gotten into the writer thing, and this is where the dragon chooses you as a bondmate, and oh my god, I could not put the book down. I can't wait to get back into it. I thought the whole book was gonna be more or less this timeline, these 2 months, but now we're pretty much done with that. So I'm so curious as to what's gonna happen next. And obviously I'm gonna stop being able to talk to you about things because if I didn't know them just based on the back of the book, I'm not gonna be able to tell you because this is spoiler free. I wish I could tell you some spoilers though, because there were a couple of things I wasn't expecting, things that, were just so exciting to read. What else do I have to say? I feel like I'm gonna watch this back when I edit it and forgot half the things I wanted to talk to you about. It's kind of interesting though because this might be one of those books where it's just not my style of writing at all, and I actually am kind of snobby about it, like, ooh, I don't really like it, but the actual plot and the things happening in the book are gonna like steal the show. But I will tell you that my level of enjoyment and entertainment is so high that this is like already an automatic 4-star. All right, I think I'm done, so I'm going to film my video. I also want to edit and upload it today. Hopefully that happens, and I still need to get to page 250 of Fourth Wing, which shouldn't be a problem. All right, I'm taking the thumbnail. I always hate this part. It's so cringe. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie. Guys, that took way longer than I thought it was going to. I also just made a little frozen pizza. And it actually looks so bad because I don't know how to work the light on this camera, and so I'm like so exposed. I look like a ghost in that video. Also, the second I turned the camera off, I washed my face because my skin started like throbbing. I don't think covering my inflamed skin with makeup was such a bright idea, but you gotta struggle for the video. Maybe my skin is angry at me that I only eat Poptarts, pizza, and potato chips, the 3 Ps, but I will not be stopping. Also, I just realized that in Fourth Wing, they never talk about like the food that they're eating. I feel like I always really appreciate that in a book, and I wanna know what Violet's up to, what she's eating, what they serve in the cafeteria. Now I'll just be editing and eating. I use Adobe Premiere Pro in case you're curious. Let me know if you are a content creator, what programs you use to edit. I really like editing, even though editing to me is just getting rid of the weird silences or the ums or the likes that I say non-stop, and occasionally zooming on my face when I say something funny. But I love doing it. The only thing is I have no idea what time I'm gonna finish, so it might be another late one tonight. Okay, I just exported the video. It's now 7 p.m., 4 hours after I got off work. I'm going to upload this, and while it's uploading, I'm going to work on my thumbnail. I'm so lazy with my thumbnails. I really am very quick with them, so I'm not too worried about this, and I'll probably just schedule this video for midnight. Some of you probably don't care about any of this, I'm sorry. I'm not going to make you go through this whole thing with me, but I'll show you the before and after pretty much. Okay, I think I got it. So this is like the before photo, and this is the kind of cringy photo after. It's just easiest to like remove the background and just slap my face on a neutral background where I can like manipulate the text easier. This is what we're working with. It's fine. Okay, so this will be uploaded in about an hour, and then the 4K takes like an hour to load. So I have at least 2 hours to read. Let's go. Where are my tabs? Hello, welcome to day 3. My in-laws get here tomorrow. I'm kind of freaking out. I did get to page 251 last night, so just got to the cutoff. Nothing I can really tell you about. There have been several more surprises. A couple things that I forgot to mention yesterday though. One, there is magic in this universe. We find it out almost immediately. When a writer is bonded with a dragon, the dragon gives the writer like a signet. It's like a tattoo, which is also giving Dauntless, but it gives you some sort of power, and some of it is basic, like you can unlock doors, you have super speed, you can like, I don't know, throw flames, I don't know. But then there are way cooler powers, which I won't get into because it's really fun finding out what people's powers are. And I just feel like that makes the book even more interesting because magic is so cool. I also forgot to mention that I did try the audiobook when I started the other day, and for some reason it was just not vibing with me. I didn't give it very much of a chance, but I'm really loving the physical reading. But it sucks because I have so much I want to tidy up and clean, and I was hoping that I could like listen to my audiobook while I did all that, but no such luck. Another thing I think I forgot to say, maybe I did say it, who knows, is another aspect of why this is kind of cringe writing is because there are so many villainous characters that are so straight up obvious villains, and the only interactions that they have are like bitchy ones. And I just feel like in this day and age, there's a better way to write villains, especially in a book with so many. I find it's way more interesting if the villain has some sort of backstory, or they have some sort of reasoning, or they have more dimension than just being like a dick. But yeah, still absolutely enjoying myself. I really wish I didn't work today so that I could just read this. That's all I want to do. Today, I have to get to page 375. And the other things I need to do more laundry. I'm not going to bore you with more B-roll of that. But I also need to tidy up my random surfaces. I don't think it's gonna take too long because I don't have that much stuff, I don't think. Everyone probably thinks that. Burgundy's on the oaks, greasy air every Sunday morning, maplewood in the smoke, like a spirit, we feel it, it's taking us under, any fire will stoke. Does look like a monster. If you were high on mushrooms and went in here,
that'd be scary, huh?
Yeah. It was like the roads. If we dream it, believe it, we'll fall into wonder. Walk with me, talk with me for a little bit. Let's get into it. Walk with me, high times, low key, a minute down. Lay back afternoon chills. Our dad's getting lost in stories, sunbathe watches and stills. It's for freedom, a kingdom so weightless and tandem. Chasing it at our own pace. Cast a cat, it will be okay. Give and take, never hesitate. One by one, we keep on coming. Walk with me, talk with me. Good morning. Welcome to my bathroom. So last night I read the third quarter. I actually stopped at 371 because I forgot that I was trying to get to 375. And things have definitely slowed down in Fourth Wing. I feel like we're getting a bigger picture of what's going to be happening once Violet leaves the school. And honestly, I don't care as much about the political system in a fantasy world. The big system of the wars, of the battles, I don't care. I'm not that kind of fantasy reader. In fact, when worlds get bigger and bigger and bigger, kind of like in Akatar, by the third book, I'm just like, please tone it down a little. But then literally on the last page I was reading something maybe Spicy was about to start, and I was like, I can either stay up even later to read some Spice, or I can save it for tomorrow. For a little bit, I thought the cringe writing was better. I thought maybe it went away, but there's still some lines where I'm just like, oh my god. It's just like those speeches that the main character has, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Also, this is like main character energy happening. Everyone is very concerned with Violet and everything that Violet's doing, and we don't really hear about anyone else. Which makes sense because she's the main character, but it is a little, I don't know, maybe it's a little funny. It's also funny that she had all these friends and there's this sense of like found family happening, but as the romance is ramping up, we don't really hear about these friends anymore. Other than that though, like, I can't put the thing down. So the author's doing something right. Also, I've gotten like 3 more zits over the night, and tonight my in-laws will be here, so there's nothing I can do. All right, I gotta get to work, but I will see you soon.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again?
I'm gonna clean the bathroom now. You don't need to see it. I won't make you watch it.
Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all.
Alright y'all, I think the cleaning is complete. I didn't mop the floor, but you know what? These floors, it looks like an old elementary school. I think this is the best it's gonna look. I know I'm forgetting something. Also, I'm not putting makeup on until I hear a knock on the door. But I want to finish the last quarter of Fourth Wing. I feel like things are gonna just explode. So let's get into it. We left off at a steamy scene, so don't mind if I do. Okay, change of plans. They just got here. So I will be reading Fourth Wing later tonight, but I can stay up as long as I want because I don't work tomorrow. Also, I randomly just got my period, so. And I didn't finish the Spicy scene. Let me go cry about it and put my makeup on.
Clear nights, when all the haze gets washed away. Smooth flights to Cabernet's Marvel escape. From the back to the front, from the ground, going up and I feel something. Like the sky, hold the light, let it shine till my heart starts to say something. Stay, blackberry days, blooms on the horizon. Way under the rays, watch the world brighten. All these things are given to us, all these shine like golden.
Alright guys, I finally finished Fourth Wing. That last quarter of the book I read in little stolen moments in the car or in bed with a little flashlight. Not an actual flashlight, I'm being dramatic now. Or while we're sitting at the beach. And so I felt like a teenager while I was reading the last bit, just like, you know, reading a little at a time. So that was kind of fun, but I do really wish, and for anyone who hasn't read this yet, save a weekend to read this because you're gonna wanna fly through it uninterrupted. I wish I had read it like that. I wish I had started this before. That last quarter was still kind of in a slow area for me when it picked up. But yeah, the ending, there were lots of surprises and lots of action. So it was, I don't know, it was fun to read. I also did tear up at a section of it and I wasn't expecting to. And even in the moment, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna cry. And then I started tearing up. So yeah, one of the most interesting reads I've ever had in the terms of my taste versus my engagement in the book, because I did find this, like I said earlier, very cringe, but I couldn't put it down and I wanted to keep reading, and I will definitely be picking up the next one in the series. And honestly, that part like made me not even care about how, I keep saying cringe, I don't even know what that means, but it's just like this feeling you get when you watch like young adult movies where they have this huge speech. That's the kind of cringe I'm talking about that's in here. The plot of this though made me forget about how it was written or even the things I didn't like in it, so much so that I'm gonna give it 4 stars for Fourth Wing. The romance in here was really interesting because I thought the crush part of it, that's in, you know, every romance when the main character's just feeling around and, you know, having a crush. I thought that part was so great and was like, I want to keep reading for more. But I think the transition from crush to actual romance was weird. I don't know if it was clunky because I had stopped and go. That's not how you say that. Because I was stop and go. I don't know if that added to the clunkiness or if it just, I don't know, wasn't my type of, I don't know. I'm trying to be nice, but I didn't think it was written well. Oh. However, I'm so invested in the romance that it doesn't even matter. The characters were really great. This did have main character syndrome where everything revolved around the main character. And while that wasn't that annoying in this one, because duh, that's gonna happen with a main character and especially in a fantasy book, I feel like it could start getting to Feyre level of annoying. If you haven't read ACOTAR, Feyre annoys me. I love her in the first book. I mean, I love her. Okay, don't get me wrong, but I'm sick of her now. I feel like that could happen with Violet here. We'll see. Some of my favorite characters I can't even talk about. I will say I wish there were more dragons or there was more talk of the dragons because I was so excited for that part and I loved what we got in here, but I want so much more. So I'm hoping that the next few books really gets into that. I could see where this was ending, that the next book in the series, I don't know if this is going to be a trilogy. I hope it's like a 4-part series, just, you know, for fun. But I could see that this is going to be one of those books like Divergent that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said earlier in the video, at some point, I haven't edited any of this. I'm sure it's a mess, but I really like it when it's small. So in this college sort of setting where the setting itself, there's a whole map of the school, so it feels big, but you know, it's not too confusing. Something I thought I didn't like in books was when the stakes are high, and that's something I learned that that's not always true because the stakes were so high in this, and I honestly think that's one of the reasons I loved it. We saw each of these challenges that were coming like in the first half of the book, and I was just so waiting to see who would die because literally anyone could die. Our main character, I didn't think she was gonna die, but I thought she could get very, very hurt, or she could get kicked out, or I don't know, someone could stab her. So yeah, I'm on my lunch break, so I'm trying to get back to work, but thank you so much for coming along with me through a very chaotic week in my life, and I'm sure you have read this or are about to very soon, so let me know your thoughts below and tell me any other stories that reminded you of this. I will say one of the characters in here is very much giving Tamlin, and I forgot to say that earlier. All right guys, I will see you later. Goodbye.